Hi, this is Sarah from Crafting and Stamping, and I'm back with another quick card. I'm sorry that I missed Friday with my quick tip. I've had a shoulder injury and I've had to nurse my shoulder quite a bit. But I'm back again today, and for the quick card today, I'm using our Wonderful World celebration bonus. Now, this is a set of papers and a stamp set. These are just the 6x6 sheets that I've cut down, but the actual sheets come in full 12x12 size. I've just cut them down here so that you can see them a bit easier. And you can see that there's lots of floral prints on these. Let me just turn these round so that they're facing the right way. And so we've got floral prints on one side like that. And then you've got a little more subtle pattern on the other side. Most of them are just a tone on tone, and then we've just got this one here that has got lots of the little flowers, and these are great to use as borders as well. Absolutely fantastic for borders. So what I'm using today, I'm going to be using some of these others. Oh, and let me just show you. So this is the stamp set. So you get the 12 sheets of 12x12 DSP, not the 6x6 here, 12x12, and you get the cling stamp set free with a £90 purchase during celebration. This is one of the more expensive, as it were, as in it's free, but you're having to spend more in order to get it. But you're getting stamps and papers. I'm not using the stamps today. I will be doing later in the week. I'm just using the papers today. And I'm actually using two different ones. So I'm using this one here. And I'm also using, just to give us a background, this leaf one. So the green that is in this set is actually Mossy Meadow, but I have gone with Old Olive as my card base because Old Olive is a tone on tone of Mossy Meadow anyway, and so is Pear Pizzazz. The three of them work really well together. So I've started with a card base, a standard A6 portrait card base of Old Olive, and I've cut a card front layer to go on top from this pattern of the Wonderful World. But what I've done is this is my 12x12 sheet, and what I'm going to do, let me show you how I've checked this and laid it out to test it. I'm using a punch. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. I'm using this punch, and this one's actually a little bit more tricky to use because we've got these hole and slot on either side of the actual label punch. But I liked the idea. I've just punched these out of scrap paper so that I could just play around with this to see how it was going to work out for me. So this one's a little bit more tricky to do. You could use a simpler punch. You could use dies if you've got a die cutting machine, and the dies you would probably get less wastage from your paper than I am doing here. So I've already punched out a few of my flowers, a little bit of a cheat to save a little bit of time today. So we've got some punched out already, and what I've done is just hand cut these very roughly. Because of how high the tag punch goes, you can't use all of the flowers in a row, in a diagonal row, because it's going to encroach, the top and bottom is going to encroach on the next one. So with this particular punch, you are going to lose an in-between flower each time. So like I say, you can make better use of these if you want to. Now the other thing, where have I put my little, here it is. Other thing that I've done, just to make life a little bit easier for myself, is just use a piece of scrap card I've just put a little bit of seal on the end of it, and I'm popping this just at the top of here to use as my handle when I put this in the back of the punch. I'm taking a little bit off the bottom so that it can go down far enough. I've only gone a little bit below that last flower there, and what I'm doing is inserting this in here. When I'm happy that I've got that at a point that is central for me, that I'm happy with, I just punch that out. And the reason that I've sort of trimmed it this way, I can just pull that off there and stick it on the next one. Ready, and trim this. The reason that I'm doing it this way and not just going straight into the sheet is if I was doing that, I would lose not just in between, I do lose side to side because of the slot and the hole. So that's why I've trimmed these. So we're going to want a couple more flowers. So, and I'm going to orient that way. You get to choose. That's not straight to how it was, but that's how I want it to be. And take my little handle off again, it'll work for another one. So let's see. So I'm just going to cut this, all I did was come up the middle between these two flowers, go across a bit so that I can then go up the middle again like that. And as long as I'm taking in the bottom of the next flower, I know that I'm going to have enough room. So again, make a handle, cut off that bit of the flower like that, and then maneuver that in there until I've got it oriented the way I want it, and there we are. Right, so I have now got my 6 flowers that I'm going to arrange. So we're just going to adhere this direct. So I'm just using my snail to put this layer on the front of the card, and keeping it tone on tone means that we're not going to have too many patterns competing with one another. And then I can decide which way I want to pop my flowers on. And just a tiny sort of design tip, I like to make sure that if a flower is leaning one way or another, then they're leaning into the card. And another thing that I'm going to do is just make sure that I've got these balanced a little bit. I've mainly got sort of purples, so the other pink I'm going to sort of put down here at the bottom. And let's see, so I think that works for me. So that's what I'm going to do there. I'm actually using the artistically inked stamp set here, the Happy Birthday. And I've just got a strip. This is an end strip of paper, of card that I've got. I'm going to use my old olive ink pad. And this is one of those that I've cut apart, but I can assemble it again on the block together. Cutting it apart means that I can put the happy and the birthday on separate lines, but I'm happy to have them on a single line for this. And there we've got that. And then I've just got a mat there for that. So I'm going to pop this onto the mat direct. So a bit of snail on there for that. just got a little bit of seal that's sticking out, so I've just folded it in, and let me get my take a pick tool so that I can get this where I want it. So there we are, and just press it down enough to grab it. Turn it over so I can press it from the back and make sure that I don't smudge the ink. Right, so that's ready. So now we're just wanting our dimensionals, and I should have put these ready. I've got lots of mini ones out at the moment. Where are my large ones? Right, so going to just have these more or less where I want them. But another tip for you is to do your outer ones first. So just get this. Yeah, that's not where I wanted it. Get this roughly where you want it, and I'm making sure that my side margin and top margin are about even. And quickly there, and I'm standing up over this so that I can see what I'm doing. And then the advantage of this is that you just need to get the last one central between the two. Oops, keep dropping it before I'm ready to actually place it. And again, I'm just making sure that those are even. There we are. And then I obviously just want the base to pretty much match in terms of alignment. So I'm going to pop that up there, keeping side and base about even. Do my other outer label, and like I say, you could do this with any sort of label, any punchers, any dies, or you could just cut them out, measure and trim them out, but you will need to do some measuring then, and I like projects where I don't have to do much measuring. So get up over the top so I can see that they're in a line, and then finally I can pop my happy birthday up between those in the center. So again, I'm just making sure that it's even between the sides. And there's our quick card for today. So I hope that's given you an idea for how you can use this paper. They are a great set of papers, and as I say, they've got then the stamp sets that go beautifully with them, that I'll be using as well. But for a quick card, you can't be just punching out the already printed flowers. So please do subscribe to my channel to be able to see a quick card every Monday and a quick tip every Friday. And thank you for stopping by.